On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. Touch my swag, this shit cool. I look fly, I look good.
Let's get into how to get away with murder. Okay, so we're going back to the flashback, okay? The flashback, house is on fire, somebody dead on a gurney. Oliver, I need you to wipe the phone. Oliver wipes the phone. Bonnie brings him back to the scene. They drop the phone like she just dropped it under the ambulance. They take her to jail. She gets processed. What the fuck was on the phone, Annalise? Okay, let's hop, skip, and jump to 6 weeks prior to, which is basically the present, of the episode, even though we're obviously going back to find out how we got to the present moment. But it just always feels like the present moment is the one that doesn't have all the different fucking colors and all of that. Like, they gotta make it dramatic. So they basically put this shit in black and white so that you could know this is a fucked up part of the scene. It ain't in black and white, but it's very dark. It definitely is a contrast between the 6 weeks prior and the actual scene with the fire and everything. So Nasty Nate is really sprung off Annalise. I mean, goddamn, that bitch must have all kind of witch hazel and extra virgin olive oil and all kind of shit in that pussy, okay? Because he is really being here for her. He asked her about Frank because obviously something is going on with Frank. And she basically tells him she wants to keep it private, even though she just asked him to find out where the fuck Frank was. And when he couldn't find Frank, now she wants to keep him out of it. He complies with her about the shit. He's trying to make her healthier, cooking breakfast for her, just being extra nice and fine. And I really hope he ain't the one that's on a gurney, because I'm going to be upset about it. For real. So the president wants Annalise to keep a low profile so that she can try to deal with the situation and get her, back in the good graces of the investors and the alumni board and all of those other fucking people that matter so much at the college. But her new case is going to make that quite difficult. So you got Virginia and Solomon. Solomon is her new client, okay? He's a greasy, nasty, just somebody you wouldn't want to fuck, but that would kill you because you didn't want to fuck them type of guy, okay? Really curly hair with bald on the top, fat, but then not so fat. It's just, nothing really appetizing about the motherfucker at all, okay? And he was with this girl, Virginia, and Virginia supposedly overdosed on some pills, and they have him on video carrying her unconscious body out of a room, okay? So obviously this nigga is up to no good, but Annalise has to prove that there's reasonable doubt. Therefore, you can't just put him in jail for the shit, okay? So because Michaela's ass was ready to play when she came to class that day, she gets head share of the case. Nobody really wants this case though because it looks so bad and it looks like, they're gonna lose. But that seems to be the theme for this season. Cases that it look like you motherfuckers ain't gonna win, but then let's see how good of a lawyer you really are and you win. Solomon, with as much class as he can muster, took pictures with Virginia while she was passed out. And during these moments, it could have saved her life if he would have brought her to the hospital. But instead, he took pictures with her and, just was being really callous about it. So it looks bad. It looks really fucking bad. I don't know how they wouldn't convict. I would convict. Like, put this motherfucker in jail. Obviously, he has some issues, okay? We find out that because he was leaving his house with a big old, duffel bag of money, Oliver was tracing his online shit and found that he had went and took some money out of his account. And so she goes to meet him at his house. Where you going with all that fucking money, Solomon? He's going to pay off his last lawyer. Did I mention he had 5 lawyers prior to Annalise? And I guess the fifth lawyer is blackmailing him because he knows that Solomon killed another girl some years ago, okay? And he actually did kill that girl. What happened with her, had coke and all kind of shit, trying to, have a party for her. He was like, yeah, you like that? And she was kind of like, okay, totally wrong vibe. I'm so not gonna fuck you. You're disgusting. Like, nobody would ever fuck you. Like, she was just being real mean about it, but the bitch was doped up on coke. So he takes a baseball bat and cracks her fucking skull open and then buries her somewhere. So they used that case by saying that his cellmate told him that, okay? Somebody who was already on death row, okay? Uses that. And the guy admits to it. I don't know why the guy admitted to it. I don't know why. I forgot why. But the guy admitted to it, I guess. And he basically gets a deal. The deal is 3 years. Instead of 25 to life that he probably would have got. And he had the audacity to have an attitude with Annalise about it because he was hiring her so that he wouldn't get any time. She slapped the dog shit out of him. I mean, you know, like, look, see how, look, it knocked my ponytail out. That's how hard she smacked that motherfucker. And I'ma leave it, okay? I'm just gonna fucking leave it, all right? So she smacked the shit out of him and told him that he need to be happy with what he got because it should have been worse. Little bastard, little fat fuck. So Laurel decided to go see her dad, and we got to explore some of Laurel's daddy issues so that she can find Frank. And I guess it's become apparent to her that she actually did love Frank. And she goes to her father for help, and he brings in a mediator because he can't even have a conversation with her without all this animosity. And we find out why. First of all, he left her mom when her mom had a mental breakdown. So she was pissed off about that. He married another woman not more than a year later. So that was another thing. Had a whole new family, and she kind of was the black sheep of that family, okay? Then she got kidnapped when she was 15, and he didn't pay the ransom. Now, he said, you know, the cops told him not to, and they got her back safely, obviously. But to her, the fact that he wouldn't pay made her feel like she wasn't the most important thing. And she has always held resentment for that. Her father asked her to sign his will, and she won't do it. She won't do it until he gives her information on Frank. She goes back to his office and tells him that she'll sign the papers as long as he tells her where Frank is. And he just really didn't want to give it to her because he thinks that Frank is a bad guy and he feels like she deserves better. And she's trying to be a hard ass and not really give in. But at the end of the day, she signed the fucking papers, got the information. And if you ask me, you know, there's going to be some reconciliation at some point. Because it's obvious that she still loves her dad and her dad still loves her. It's just she's mad. She's fucking mad. So Michaela gets her life this episode. They took some money from the money that Solomon got out of his account to pay the other lawyer. It took $20,000 out, went to the casino, and basically gambled. She got all the way up to like $80,000 and then lost it all, okay? Meanwhile, Oliver and Connor are walking around trying to just be cool and shit. Oliver is talking to some beefcake, and yeah, because that's what he like a beefcake. I'm sorry to take that from Jocelyn right quick, but that's what the motherfucker looked like. You know, short but buku muscles, beefcake. So, Oliver disappears, and the guy goes over to Connor and starts to talk to Connor and hit on him. And Connor is like, you know, you should really, you know, go with Oliver. He's the best, you know, he's great in bed. And the guy says, well, I'm not really into Asian guys like that. And he was like, why? What are you, a fucking bigot? Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. You know, he got real hostile. And I was like, yeah, he's probably a bigot. He looks like a bigot. Yeah, he looks like a bigot, and he looks like he takes steroids, and looks like his dick is little. And yeah, he's probably just gonna suck a mean one. Muscles. So yeah, now Oliver thinks that Connor was cock blocking. And Connor just apologizes to him and lets it go. Meanwhile, Michaela and Asher go into the pawn shop and pawn her engagement ring since she just found out that old gay boy is engaged to another girl. And it's like, girl, don't feel bad. He's gay. He doesn't want to admit it. And that bitch is going to be miserable as fuck until she divorces him and takes half of his money. So it's okay. You just basically, you know, dodged the bullet, bitch. Feel great about it. So Wes' girlfriend finally expresses to him that she feels some type of way about Laurel. I was wondering, I was like, is this bitch blind or something like that? Is she not noticing that this is kind of uncomfortable as fuck? And she said that she did notice it, and she does feel some type of way, but she sees how he looks at Laurel, or how the look on his face when he talks about Laurel or whatever. And he's like, look, it ain't that, okay? I want to be with you. It's not about that at all. And it's not about that. They have secrets together. They've killed people together. There's a bond there, and they have fuck, but it ain't about that. Wes really wants to separate himself from the group and have his own life, you know, separate from them. And they, as much as they all try to act like they not, you know, really friends, they don't spend time with anybody else but each other. So yeah, y'all motherfuckers is friends. So we go back to the night with the fire in the house and the whoosh, and Oliver swiping the phone, and Bonnie talking to the cop while he dropped the shit by the ambulance, okay? And then all of a sudden, somebody says, "We got a survivor!" And everybody looks scared as shit. So who did y'all try to kill that ended up not dead? Who? Who the fuck is getting away with not being murdered? Okay, look, I made it up right there on the spot. Yo, the only other thing that I wanted to mention, because I kind of wrapped it up so soon instead of like dragging the shit out with the case with Solomon, was that when Annalise went to the DA to make a deal, they would not make a deal with her because they told her they didn't fuck with her. All those years of bad behavior, we don't fuck with you, Annalise, so we won't be making any deals with you. So when she went to court with evidence that Nate had given her about that guy who was in jail bragging about killing this girl that Solomon actually killed all those years ago and put the bitch in a freezer, Nate gave her that information. She took that to court with that DA and embarrassed the fuck out of her and said it out loud that was some, misconduct going on with you telling me that you're going to not work with me because you don't like me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Annalise gut punched that ass. So all you DA motherfuckers, yeah, try to be a little bit more professional about your shit next time. That was how to get away with murder. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Share it, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay?
On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. Touch my swag, this shit